You are listening to Integrity Radio. I'm your host, LaKesha.
And I'm your co-host, Saundra Gage, President and CEO of Integrity Stewardship Enterprise.
And today we are talking about tax refunds with our special guest,
Shanda. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Shanda. How are you today?
I'm good.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So we all know that it's tax season and everyone's in a hurry to get that nice big chunk of change back. But we have to talk about the good and the bad of tax refunds, where you should file, where you shouldn't file, and what you can expect.
That's true. Either you can do it yourself, you could e-file, and you could also do tax preparation software. You know, today, if you're actually doing a short form, you can actually do the federal right at the IRS site, or you can do the state right online.
Actually, I did do the federal through their site, and it actually has a page that connects you to software on other people's sites that are free. And they basically just walk you through the steps. And I think one of the biggest things is people are afraid to do their own taxes because they don't know what to expect. But it's really pretty simple.
I've also noticed that a lot of the credit unions have that free tax software where you can, if you're doing the short, that you can actually do it through them if you're a member.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So a lot of people, so they don't have to worry about it, they run to, H&R Block or Liberty Tax or whatever is closest near you, and they get a nice piece of change from you for filing your taxes. But in reality, they're sitting in front of a computer screen with the same software that you could get at home.
Right.
But they're getting, a percentage of your refund when you could have kept it for yourself.
Right.
That's absolutely true. Not only that, some people, if you're not doing the short form, some people use their attorneys. And I would not recommend that you don't use your attorneys if you have really complicated taxes with a lot of stocks and a whole lot of properties and a lot of complicated things that you don't understand, then you should always refer to your attorney.
Right.
But if it's something really simple, some long-term filings, you can actually still use the software. And it's pretty good because they actually even have in there where they do a check. So if you made any mistakes, it goes through there and it tells you, okay, we found these areas that look like you need to look at it again, or you missed this, or you missed that. And a lot of the tax preparation software has things that you can add on to the software for a very reasonable amount for called audit defense. Like in case you are audited, that you would use them and they would take care of it just as if you had went to a tax place like H&R Block or something. So
that's a good point. Using tax preparation software is really a big step up from doing the paper form, because if you were filling out the paper form back in the day and you made a mistake, you wouldn't know it until way later when you got a letter back saying, oh, you did this wrong. And so it's kind of preventative, which is good.
It is very preventative. I really am a fan of tax preparation software, and it seems like every year they're tweaking it to make it even better. And you're seeing, because when I first started using it, it only covered the federal. Then I noticed that they changed it and they added on the state. And sometimes they would add in where you would get a free state filing with it if you purchased their software. Last couple of years I've noticed that they've even added the city. So I do all of it all in one place. It's all done. For the city, of course, I don't e-file that through them, but I can print it out and everything is filled in.
Right.
And it's user-friendly. The software is really user-friendly.
Yeah.
So, and they also do updates. So when they update the rules and regulations, the software is updated as well. And then there's little question marks in there where you can click the question mark to get more information or a better explanation of what that field actually means or what the question is referring to.
Which that brings up another point. If you do the hard copy and there's some update, like if you did your taxes right away in January, as soon as you got your W-2s and there was an update, that you may not have that update, and you might miss something that may cause you problems down the road because it goes to the IRS and then they send it back saying, well, you have to redo your taxes because you didn't use the correct form. So,
and then you got to add another form to resubmit it.
Exactly.
That sounds like a lot of extra work that's not needed.
Right.
But I think the biggest point to this is there's so many places that you can do it for free instead of paying someone.
And don't be such in a hurry to get it quick.
Right.
But You can do it through the tax software and print it and mail it, and it'll take you longer. But if you have a computer and you have access, you can do it, and you're probably going to get it within less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Right. I think the average is 21 days, but usually it comes way before that. And like I said, if you feel that you want to learn how to do it, there's places you can go that will show you how to fill out your taxes so that you can feel more comfortable. They'll, walk you through it. And that's free too. You can try your local library.
Mm-hmm. I think you can also amend your taxes on there too.
What do you mean?
On the TurboTax software, it allows you to amend your return, meaning basically you're fixing something that's wrong or that you believe there's a correction that needs to be made. Right. So it takes the information and you add to that and then you resubmit it.
I see.
That's true. And we're not favoring any one software brand,
of course not,
tax preparation over another, but we're just talking about our knowledge of what we've already used. Mm-hmm. Probably all of them have that ability to do an amendment if you make a mistake or something that changed. Yep.
So yeah, you also have to keep in mind that, the interest rates are pretty high, and when you're paying someone else to do it, you're also paying that interest rate.
Mm-hmm. If it's a loan, if you're getting a loan to get it in advance, you're going to pay interest rates on any kind of anticipation type loan for taxes. And so I just think that you need to do your research. That's my key phrase. I always say, do your research. Don't just assume that you have to do paper. Don't just assume that you have to go to a tax preparation brick and mortar building to get your taxes done. That there are easier ways. As LaKesha has said, the library would help you out with tax preparation. There are free avenues to get your taxes done.
And it's really about what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable learning something on the computer, then go for it. And if you're not, then, everyone pretty much has to file their taxes. So, you can probably contact someone that has done it before. Like, I know people that pay relatives $10 just to fill out their form because they're still not comfortable. But if you have someone like that, then maybe instead of paying them the $10, you can pay them the $10 to show you how to do it yourself, and then you can keep all your money.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And one other thing that I'd like to point out about the tax preparation software, like say for instance, if you live in a home with other adults that need to get their taxes prepared, that you can be used for multiple people that are in the home.
Right.
So it's not like you have to buy it for each and every person in the home. So if like the three of us need to have it and I had it, you could come over and you could use mine and it still would not be a problem.
Right.
So that's like you could almost split the money, so to speak.
Right. To
buy the tax software 3 ways and then have it that way. I'm talking about if you needed a long form.
Right.
Yeah. That would be a good way to go.
So tell us, what is the going rate if you had to buy the software for the long form?
Well,
just an estimate.
It depends on what it is that you're using. Like I think the regular 1040, I think it's somewhere around about maybe $40, something like that. But depends on how complicated your taxes is. Like in my case, that I have rental property, and at one point I had a business. That software is a little bit higher. Like the one that I purchased this year, it was like $80, and that didn't even include the business. It was just for rental properties.
Okay.
So, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Peace of mind.
Right.
And I believe that when you use the tax preparation software, because the people that are creating that tax preparation software, a lot of times they're tax attorneys, they're people that are involved with doing taxes, and they have those people looking that over to make sure that it meets all the criteria and that all the principles have been met. And so I'm pretty confident that as long as you answer the questions correctly, that your form is going to be completed correctly.
Right. Right. Make sure you're always being as honest as possible, and make sure that you have your prior year's information before you even get started, so that you can make sure that everything is accurate.
That's another point. With the tax preparation software, once you start using it, and you have, say for instance, last year, it'll automatically pull in last year's information, so you don't have to fill out everything all over again.
Right.
So it's very user-friendly.
Oh, yeah. Anything else to add?
No,
not this time.
I think we covered everything. If you have any questions or comments about doing your tax refund, you can always message us at questions@integritystewardship.com.
thank you.
Thanks.